Years later.
We're going live. Don't say nothing
I saw.
incriminating.
Yeah, yeah, this is true.
Yo,
That's
yo,
right.
yo, yo, yo. What's up,
Now,
my
but
brother? How you doing? What it is, what it do?
We starting. We
We're
kicking
going
it
live,
off.
man. We're going live. You don't have to remember. You don't record when we have a guest
Oh,
because
that's right. That's
yeah.
right.
So
That's
it's
right.
all
All right,
good.
cool. I'm wonderful, bro. This is episode 74. How you doing,
I'm
man?
very blessed, highly favored. God has a purpose in my life. I feel great things moving. I'm in tune with the universe. The secret is working in my favor. I call all good things into being. Ashe. What's up? Yeah, let's do it.
Oh man, so, I mean, I can't even agree more than that, man. The energy is real good over here too. Yeah, for
Good.
myself, it's just been one of those laid back Sundays. I hit the gym a little bit earlier. I'm actually a little tired. I'm actually ready. Like after we
Okay.
finish all of this, I'm ready to kind of pack it in and do that. But I say that, and then I know I'm going to still be up at like 3 to 4 in the
Yo, I
morning.
know
So that's
exactly
how.
what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, my G. Talk all
But
that
anyway.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna get it settled in 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm still doing shit. So
Yeah.
that's just how I do. But I have to introduce, our guests and everything like that, because this is episode 74.
That's what it
So we got
is.
to kick it off right. So before we jump into all of our topics and do what we do, we're gonna go ahead on and introduce ourselves to the people who are currently watching us live at 11:43 p.m. Eastern Standard
What's
Time
wrong
right
with
now.
y'all?
Whoever's checking in right now with us, what's happening with you? We
Y'all
got to say
wow.
what's up to the people who listen to us religiously, weekly basis, listen to our shenanigans on the actual podcast, to episode 74. We come from bad news. I
Indeed.
am Al. That is my brother Yaze. We are each other's co-hosts. On episode 74, we have a guest. And before we jump into all of the great topics that we jump into, I got to give at least a little bit of background on this. And, I'm going to take a hot second because it's a beautiful thing. But this is basically episode 74. And with each particular episode or some specific episodes, we try to have themes that are kind of centered around what's going on. I was born in 1974. This is episode 74. So I figured I would do something that I had not had a chance to do yet, which was not only tell a bit of my origin story, a little bit more than what we went into in the past, but also to introduce someone who is a part of that origin story to someone else who has been with me on this journey for a minute. It's just
Major.
really
Very
thing.
major.
It's a big thing for me. So anyway, in the past, of course, on the show, I've discussed kind of my history with my father and how that impacted my life overall. I've detailed my experiences in terms of my youth and the toxicity that I had as part of my household, mostly stemming from my father, definitely not from my mother. And since it's that episode or whatever, let's dig into that. The person that's going to be coming on here is definitely a guest. Is someone that I call a brother for many reasons because he actually is. I met my brother for the
Right.
I met my
Good
brother
reason.
for the first time when I was in high school. In terms of that, I think we talked on the phone maybe prior to that, but I think I actually met him when in high school. I was about maybe 17, 18 years old, and he was a little bit younger than me. And I knew
15.
about him. Yeah, I knew about him and he knew about me, but we had never like been in the same space and time. So throughout high school, of course, and this show was a result of that. I built a relationship with my brother Yaze over there. We definitely built a friendship and a brotherhood based upon music, art, culture, and everything in between. And we have a bond that really is the reason why we're currently broadcasting what we're doing right now. So as time has gone by, that same bond of music, that same bond of life and culture, I noticed that I also shared with my brother
Hey.
as well. Through social media, it made it possible for us to continue to create energy, to continue to bond. So, on this episode, I want to introduce my two brothers to each other. The two people that have enriched my life and have showed me the true potency of love and brotherhood. Three people tonight are going to come together and we're going to discuss how music has played a part in all of our lives. And I would like to show someone that type of love. And I just find it amazing that music is something that we shared, even though we were not in the same vicinity.
Incredible.
And music is the same thing I share with my other brother, Yaze. So I'd like to introduce someone who goes by many names, Nightcrawler, Damon Knight,
All right.
all kinds of stuff like that. But I call him, for all intents and purposes, my brother. My man,
Hey.
what's going on, bro. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome, man. Welcome. Hey,
How
look,
you doing?
you already kinfolk, man. You already heard it. So you already heard. So it is what it
That's
is,
it.
man.
But
It's just
I do have to reiterate one thing though.
yes, sir.
Now, we did meet when I was 15, you was 17.
Stop
That's
playing.
But
That's
up
what's up.
until that point, I didn't know who you were until I was 15.
Interesting.
Hey,
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm learning some stuff now. Okay.
So hold on,
my bad. I
is
didn't
this when did
think
this
about-
happen? Was this in Rochester the one time that you took me to Rochester?
No.
This was in Newport News. It was in my
Yeah.
mother.
All right.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't know nothing about that side of the family until I was 15.
Oh wow.
So
That's
yeah.
crazy just to think about from your perspective, man. Like,
yeah, it got dropped on me, man. It was just like
huh.
my whole world got ripped up, and I'm finding out new things. So that's why I said, yeah, Al knew about me his
Yeah.
whole life, as far as I know.
Yeah,
Right.
I
I
didn't
did.
know nothing until, like I said, I turned 15, and that's when I found out everything.
Wow.
I didn't know that. This is some history, that I had no
Man,
knowledge of or whatever.
Well, that's what this show is all about, man. It's like really, I think about it quite often. Like, what is the core of this show about? And it's really about Black brotherhood. It's really about, Black men connecting and and feeling like we can share something with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like we could share fellowship without feeling, like back in our day. I always felt like it was I always felt like the great tragedy of our generation is that we were all very creative, but we couldn't express our emotions freely without somebody being like calling you a faggot or you a bitch or a punk or something like that. Exposing vulnerability or whatever. So I just and that's really kind of the root of the whole reason why y'all didn't know each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
Well,
you're not,
I don't look at it as any particular negative thing on the situation. It was just we had no control over that.
Mm.
That was
Right.
had to deal with our parents.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really question what went on. I really can't because my mom passed away anyway. So outside of that point, I mean, I don't really get into the fact on what happened back when I was younger because that's just gonna bring up stuff that doesn't even need to be brought. I look at it as where we at today.
I hear that. Respect.
And I'm building a very great relationship with my brother. So you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm just loving it.
That's all. Hey, I love to hear that, man.
Yeah.
That's especially
Beautiful
that's
thing.
especially poignant to me because my big brother was murdered when I was 17 years old. So it's always and it's kind of a I got two boys now, so I see their relationship and I see the patience and the tenderness that my oldest son Langston has with Ellison, and it just heals the universe for me in a way that's hard that's almost inexpressible, and I feel that same way whenever brethren and brothers can come together, especially when there's like some separation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that's just everything right there, man. That's the whole story of the diaspora and all this shit coming together. You know what I'm saying? Like, what up? I know you, don't I? I know
I'm
you.
telling
It just
man.
gives a person insight as to who they are. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
Because people have to really know who they are.
That's right.
And that's what we have to bring amongst our kids and teach them the things that, we didn't know as kids.
That's right. That's right.
Relationships with families are important.
Yeah, and
And people got to start realizing that. I mean, you're going to have different seeds. There's going to be good. There's going to be bad.
that's right.
But at the end of the day, you still need to know who you are and where you come from.
That's
There
right.
you go. Hey,
That's right.
that is a perfect segue into how we're going to do it. So we welcome you to the show, bruh. Let's go ahead and jump on into this thing here, man. We got a nice little packed show full of fun stuff. All right, let's get with the trending topics. We call our trending topics the bottom line. The bottom line represents the people that reside at the bottom of Hampton Roads, in which we call the bottom. Their opinions, their perspectives, their way of life is authentic, and we're going to be the same way as we conquer these topics. Let's get it. She's Gotta Have It season 2 has been canceled. After the second season, though, which is crazy because on the episode, I think a show back when we talked about the second season, one of the comments I made was that even if it does not come back on, if it does not return, they did such a good job in terms of really reconciling everybody's story and just really putting together a great body of work that I felt like they brought it to a great ending point in terms of that. So I'm disappointed because I feel like the show was kind of, after that second season, it hit its stride a bit. But at the same time, if it's got to go, it went out, I think, pretty well. It tied up all the loose ends. Your thoughts on She's Gotta Have It out of here?
I got much to say about it other than I enjoyed it. I thought it was one of Spike's signature pieces. I think it's something that people remember him for because he built on what I think was an unfinished theme. You know, the first She's Gotta Have It had a lot of criticisms and a lot of, you know, obvious flaws in some of the storytelling, and as well as the misogyny. And I think he cleaned a lot of that shit up in the television series. But more than that, on a more pragmatic side, this is what Netflix is doing. Netflix is just lost like some crazy number, billions of dollars of value in one day, because everybody's taking all their programming back. So, you know, Netflix ain't got as much money as they once had, so they can't keep spending. They're not profitable. So it makes sense. They're just trying out shit, and if it's not a hit, it's not gonna stay. You know what I mean? They're gonna get rid of it. But I just feel blessed that we get to have this weird shit come out that otherwise I don't think will ever get made anyway. You know
totally agree. Yeah. Bro, your perspective.
My perspective is, to tell you the truth, I have never seen the show.
Hey! All right, I like it.
Keeping it real. Keeping it real.
Right. Hey, I'm really not a Netflix type of person, so really, truly, a lot of things that's on Netflix I have never seen.
No, go into that. You're not into Netflix. Are you in? Do you watch anything on the net or anything like that? Or are you just specifically against Netflix? I have never
watched Netflix. Period.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. What do you do for your entertainment?
Unicorn, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what do you do for entertainment?
To tell you the truth, yeah, I work a lot.
I hear that.
So I'm always doing something. I'm very rarely just sitting down,
recreating and shit. Okay, I hear that. So, I hear that. Yeah. All right then. All right, man, working. All right, I like that.
I can respect the working man.
I do.
Get your bread. All right, next one here in terms of the next topic here. Okay, I'm see now I got to switch it up a little bit here. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Eddie Murphy, after 30 plus years, is deciding, and obviously my brother won't be watching it, to return back to Netflix to do a stand-up set. Potentially, he's the word on the street is that he is currently talking to Netflix about a potential special, which would bring the King of Raw back to the stage to kind of do what he do. Mixed emotions, not for myself, I'm good, but mixed emotions out there in the culture sphere about his return. I know you got an opinion on Eddie Murphy returning to the stage.
You get into. What's your thoughts? I'm gonna let you have this one. I'm gonna let you have this one, bro. What you think, man?
I heard of it. Yeah. I heard of it, and to tell you the truth, I actually think it's good.
Okay.
For the simple fact of the matter is, I mean, he's one of the originals that actually made black comedy what it is today.
Yes.
So why not? I mean, we've already lost a lot of greats. We've lost Red Fox. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that actually made an impact in stand-up comedy.
I'm hearing you.
So therefore, for him to return back to what brought him to the game to begin with, I mean, let's keep it 100. Eddie Murphy funny as hell.
Funny as a motherfucker. Maybe the funniest. Maybe the funniest to do it.
Yeah.
In my estimation. Yeah. I feel you.
I think it would be good for the culture for him to step back because comedy's actually taken a very wrong turn as of recent.
Yeah, man.
He needs to get back to the essence of what it really was.
I'm with you on that. Man. I ain't really got much to add to that. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what the GOAT does. I feel like I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee.
I think this comedian in the car. You were Seinfeld, right?
More Netflix shit. And it was.
Well, I'll put it to you like this: Eddie Murphy does a stand up, and it's only on Netflix. I will be tuning in to Netflix.
Hey, you heard it here first.
If not, you can tune in to We Come From Bad News because you know we're gonna be talking about it.
Exactly.
Already.
Exactly.
No, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be great, and I can't wait to see the King of Raw come back up there and kind of show these people how it's done in a more modern setting. So I'm curious to see what he's been up to for the last 30 years outside of Big O Forget You Man, Pluto Nash, and all of that. Whatever. I think he's gonna come back and rip it down and show people how it's done. So
why
all
can't
the best
they let
to the
Eddie be
King
great?
of comedy. We'll see what happens. All right. In other people crazy news, over 500,000 people, it's probably grown to bigger numbers of that, pledged to storm Area 51. They say they gonna know what's going on. They need to know what's happening. They want to see what's up with that alien action. Whoever want to jump in on this one, I've seen black people on it. I've seen white people on it. Initially, I was like, I need to see the racial breakdown of this one because that's just going to be funny. But surprisingly so, I've seen a good mixture of people on all sides of the racial spectrum that think that this is a good idea. Your thoughts? Jump in.
Yo, people are broke, man. People are broken. Humanity is broken as a product, as a this model. This model of people is broken, man. It's like when you get a first generation iPhone, when you get the first iPhone update, and that shit make your iPhone fucked up at first, and they gotta iron out some details. Well, this is what this new generation of kids is like, man. These clout chasers, these whatever you want to call them, like people who live to be noticed on the internet. Like, I mean, we used to have people like this back in the TV age, you know, like Jackass and all of that stuff, you know, and they would go, you know, skateboard and bust they nuts or something like that. They hurt their balls and everybody would laugh and that'd be hilarious content. I feel like that's what that shit is now, man. I feel like they got real bullets at Area 51. They might have,
yes, they do.
They might have fake aliens, but they got real bullets. So y'all can go ahead and y'all play with the government if you want. I grew up around the military. So I'm like, you could play with that if you want to, man. I ain't storming nothing with no.
I've been to a military base before. I came up on military bases
for a portion
of my life. So I know that I'm looking at these people like, good luck with that, bro.
Show me how that works. Show me how that works.
We all grew up in the military. So
yeah.
I agree. I mean, but let's think about this. You're going to storm this place. Let's hypothetically sit there and say that the majority of y'all actually make it to the actual physical building. What the hell you going to do then?
Exactly.
Because you got to have codes and shit to get even in this damn building. So what you going to do? What good a storm they going to do but get your asses killed?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand what the plan is, or like, is the idea to get alien weaponry or something to take over the government so we can all be free? My problem with all these conspiracy theories is that nobody can think of no there's no big plan. There's no creative plan. Evil, the creative plan of evil is always take over the world and make a lot of money. They already doing that. So
I'm planning to take over the world, Pinky.
I'm like, the billionaires already done that. They got that. So I mean, like, what the supervillains won, my niggas. What are we talking about? You know, what are we talking about?
I can't agree with you, boy.
I don't even believe I don't even believe it's going to take place. I believe it's just some type of scam that somebody just threw out there just to say some nonsense and got everybody sitting up here fixed on what's going to happen.
Firefest. It's another fire. It's another Firefest, man.
Gonna happen.
Nothing.
Ain't going nowhere.
100%.
You know what's crazy is that I actually do think a select group of dumbasses are going to gather up there and try to get it done. And I personally am rooting for this to happen because I feel like that's just must-see television. It's just going to be entertaining to me. Now, they're not going to kill them. They're probably going to use rubber bullets or something like that. But I just want to see somebody get lit up over stupidity. I just find that type of thing totally entertaining. And but on a serious note, if you are thinking of storming Area 51, it's just not a good look. But if you decide to
watch
do it,
E.T.
do Al a favor, please live stream. And
it's gonna be live stream. Think about this. You put it on social media. And you think that they don't know that you're planning on doing this?
Right. It's like exactly. It just doesn't make any sense.
They started Facebook groups. I'm just like, y'all.
I guess
we're gonna storm this area and they're not gonna know. It's gonna be a surprise. Told the whole damn world.
Or for that matter, like even if you think, I'm gonna overwhelm them with sheer numbers, like my niggas, y'all said they got alien shit. I mean, aren't they just gonna hit you with the sonic beams or whatever, bro? I mean, like a normal military base to kick your ass. This is the alien. You know what I mean?
But see,
they do the flasher thing
because they just don't realize the amount of people that you're trying to send to storm this place. You think that the government doesn't have that much more in the military?
That part.
Exactly.
That part.
Look, a couple of tanks can go ahead and resolve all of this.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I just don't play with the U.S. military.
The military's been dropping bombs on countries.
Thank you.
They're demolishing countries.
Thank you.
Think that they're not going to kill your little bitty ass?
Thank you. America been at peace for 16 years and 250. 16 years out of 250, America was like, I ain't kicking no ass. I'm going to go ahead and chill today. 16 out of 250. That's how we always kicking somebody's ass. We stay kicking somebody's ass. That's right.
That's what we do.
That's what we
do. On that note, I think all three of us are on the same page where we say you probably shouldn't do it, but if you do, we will
live
watch.
stream it. Yeah, I would definitely watch it. Yeah, exactly.
And you're totally a total dumbass. All right, last one here, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump into this Nas thing here real quick because I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And this one isn't even a topic we got to really do too much with. More so, just a statement. Rest in peace to Pernell.
Yeah, Sweet Pea.
He passed earlier this week, I think, from a car accident of some sort out of Virginia Beach.
Man.
If y'all don't know nothing about that Tidewater Park legend, you definitely need to get your Google on. One of the best pound for pound to come out of Hampton Roads, and we definitely salute that brother for his contributions and for him being a true champion. So rest in peace to Pernell Whitaker, Sweet Pea, Tidewater Park, stand up. All the best to you and your family. All right, so moving along right now. Nas, we've talked about Nas on previous episodes, so we had to bring a little bit more hip-hop to the scene. He dropped Lost Tapes on Friday.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it since that time period. My initial thoughts, I'm going to jump right on in here because I'm just that excited to talk about some music. We hadn't talked about a music review in a hot second, so I'm actually excited to jump into some stuff. But on this one, with this album, first, my initial reactions is it made me think about his last release that we talked about with Kanye.
Yeah.
I did like that album, but it definitely had its faults. But one of the first things I noticed when I listened to Lost Tapes and then thought about that album was way better beats. and I feel like, and that's at the heart of what I'm about to say, I felt like in the last album, Nas was trying to catch up to every beat that he was on. I felt like he was trying to bend his cadence into some of the faster drum patterns. And let's keep it real, Nas was born in jazz. He was raised in jazz. He has been saturated and marinated in jazz all his life. And that type of beat, that type of aesthetic, it fits him like a glove. What Lost Tapes 2 definitely reminded me of was exactly the pocket that Nas needed to be in. From Al Jarreau Rap, which is really, honestly, my favorite cut on this particular album right there, to No Bad Energy, his flow fit. It fit way better than Cop Shot the Kid. It fit way better than Everything. It went way better than all the other tracks that was on there. So that's my initial take. I've definitely got more thoughts. Whoever want to jump in, what was your initial thoughts of Lost Tapes 2? Let's go.
Well, first I gotta fess up. I haven't listened to everything. I've only heard bits and pieces of the project. Mostly filtered through different shows I listen to and whatnot. But everything I've heard so far, including the single, I agree with what you said. Like every artist doesn't sound good. Like hip hop has now grown that there's a lot of different styles, a lot of different cadences, and every artist doesn't sound good doing everything. You know what I mean? Like now I would argue that the dominant hip hop form of the moment is trap music. You know, like that. Like if you ask somebody who ain't really a hip hop head, like what is hip hop right now, the probably thing they gonna think of is that was you know, they gonna think that kind of shit, and that's fine. That's not Nas. Now I don't ever want to hear Nas doing that. I don't ever want to hear Nas try to do that. I don't want to hear Nas like it's just not interesting. You know, when he suffers from the same thing in a lot of ways that Wu-Tang does, that they were so definitive in what their unique style was, which is a hallmark of 90s hip hop and like original hip hop, is that we all, you know, you're supposed to be original. Don't bite, right? Be original.
Right.
So he's in this day and age though, I don't feel like that's nearly as valuable a commodity. Like you got people that stand out. You know, you got Lizzo, you got some people that stand out like hip hop, but it's mostly women that stand out today, like in terms of personalities and stuff.
And we're gonna get into that in the next segment.
But like dudes in a weird way, contrary to what So Lane was talking about, is like dudes right now all sound the same to me. They all sound like they kind of all trying to be the same nigga and like rap about the same shit. So when you hear Nas come out, it's just refreshing, man. It's refreshing to have that aesthetic of black masculinity, intelligence, and clarity, and just, you know, just neoclassicism. It pops. I just love everything about it, man. I can listen. Nas don't gotta change. He just need to be Nas, and it's like I'm with that, and I rock with that shit until I'm an old nigga, you know.
And that was the same thing we said about Eminem at the time. We just said all M needed to do was to just be M. Same thing with Nas. My brother, your perspective, initial take on Lost Tapes.
I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole project in its entirety, but one of my cuts on there was the Vernon family. Now I did like the Vernon family.
I like that. That was hard.
Yeah, but as you said, Nas took it back to the true essence of what real hip hop is. It is about, being on the intellectual level with some serious lyricism and actual wordplay, which is a lot of things that a lot of cats today do not have. I mean, at the end of the day, hip hop was supposed to be able to teach our youth some knowledge.
Talk about it. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I still got to disagree on that trap music shit, because to me, today's music is not trap music. When I think of trap music, I think of music from Rick Ross. I think of music from T.I., the old T.I. That's trap music. Young Jeezy. I'm not even a Young Jeezy fan, but Young Jeezy was trap music.
I hear you. I hear where you go with that. I hear you go with that.
This shit today is not trap music. It's just, it's a level to brainwash our kids into drugs, into homosexuality, and a whole bunch of other negative things. So, when Nas did his album, Lost Tapes 2, I can vibe with that, because again, it's painting you a picture of something. And you got to be able to know what the song is painting you a picture of and be able to visualize it.
Yes.
That's what today's music is lacking, visualization.
I totally agree with you there. And on that note, I'll piggyback with you as well. One of the things, and that's a great note.
I got a parenthetical though, because I'm on Walk with Kids. We don't consider homosexuality negative on Walk with Kids. I'm LA. I got a lot of gay friends, so I got to call that out because people listen to our podcast. As an ally, I stand with LGBTQ, but I hear what you're saying as a black man, as a black man in terms of our depiction of our culture.
We had to disagree with that one.
Go ahead.
No, we can agree to disagree. We're totally. I'm not.
Stand with them.
Yeah.
I do believe that they have a right to live their life the way they choose to live it. Now,
there you go.
That's a person from how they live their lifestyle.
That's it.
Okay.
But I don't agree with it for me per se.
No, I'm with you.
And you got totally that right.
And listen. And let me tell you what. And I'm gonna just say this too. I totally understand that, because I don't judge anybody's nothing, right?
No.
Like,
right.
But the main reason that people who don't agree with homosexuality or LGBTQ lifestyles don't, and this was a big reason for me, because I live in LA now. I live out for 20 years because I didn't know nobody. I hadn't met anybody. I didn't know anybody who was gay. I didn't know anybody who was trans. I didn't know anybody that was actually that thing. But when I met them, then you're like, oh, you're just a person, and you don't have an agenda. You're not out here trying to do anything to anybody. You're just a victim of the media, like I'm a victim of the media, and they throwing all this shit down our throats to try to divide us and make us hate each other so we could all stay broke. That's my analysis. But you know what I'm saying? We all growing. We all growing in dialogue. We all growing.
Fair point of order.
My thing on that,
we can wrap this up.
My thing on that is, okay, I don't agree with the LGBT community simply because of what they are attempting to try to do. They are forcing everybody to live a certain way that doesn't offend them.
This is a great conversation. I'm glad we stumbled on this conversation. This is a great conversation.
Everybody in this world gets offended.
No, we got to talk about this a little bit.
Hold on. Let me. I'm going.
This is great.
Y'all a section to it too.
Because we are brothers, and we don't gotta be mad at each other. Like, this is just an open dialogue, and you know what I mean?
Totally.
Because I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm actually not gay, so I'm just right.
Let's wrap up Nas, and then I'm gonna give y'all a hot. Okay, and we're gonna do that. So all right. So let's wrap this up. From what you heard, where would you put Nas in terms of what are we doing? We're doing 1 to 5. Let's say 1 to 5. In terms of that, in terms of stars or whatever, what would you give it? In terms of that?
I give him 5.
Off the initial listen.
I give him a 5.
I haven't heard the whole project, so I would be, I'm really, really, really sort of generalizing, but I think in terms of what he was supposed to do based off how the last album, I feel like even though I enjoyed it, was kind of like, nah, I got to give him like 4.5 to 5, like in terms of like just holistic, like I think this is exactly what Nas was supposed to do and how to reposition himself as like the godfather of lyrical, thoughtful, intelligent black rap. Yeah, so yeah.
I'm on the same
Top
page
tier.
with you.
Top tier.
I think that this is where he's supposed to be. I definitely would give it more in the four and a half area there. I'm gonna wrap this up in here. A few standout cuts for me: No Bad Energy, Jarreau Rap, which is crazy. That's Al Jarreau and Nas. It's a really unique cut. It's experimental. I love that. It was great. Lost Freestyle is dope. Royalties a dope song. Adult Film. Swiss Beats produced that. War Against Love and It Never Ends. And then the one my brother mentioned there, Vernon Family. These are some of the dope cuts on there. And there's plenty more. I think that if you are a Nas fan, you will not be disappointed with this album. If you're part of the newer generation, you may not quite understand it. So, or you may. It just depends. So we'll leave it there. All right. So overall, Nas, good album. Go check that out. All right. Quick sidebar here. We kind of stumbled into a conversation between my two brothers in terms of, LBGT community and kind of their purpose and how he, feels about it. So since the last,
well, it's a conversation. It's just a conversation overall. It's a difference between. It's a conversation ultimately between tolerance and acceptance, right? Like,
okay, like
what black people. I think black people have made a lot of progress in terms of tolerating LGBTQ people, right? We made a lot of I tolerate. I ain't mad at them, as long as they don't push it on me, right? Which I understand. My thing is though, is that I don't know how a person is supposed to go through the world where people are spitting on you or fucking you up just for being who you are, and you don't band together in some way to be like put out a different counter message. I just don't.
You could also say that about black people.
Yes,
we've been going through that shit for the longest.
No, I'm saying that exactly about black people. I mean, I'm saying that black people, out of all the people in the world, should understand when somebody picks on you for like no rational reason. Like, we were the ones who were enslaved. Like, we didn't enslave white. Like, we enslaved white people. Right now, I'd be like, everything white people doing to us makes sense because we enslaved them. But we didn't enslave them. And they still treat us like shit, and it makes you feel like, well, I didn't even do anything to you, so why are you mad that I'm just trying to make my presence existing in the world? Like, if we make Ariel the Mermaid black, folks, then they freak out. I don't
see really black folks attacking the LGBT community.
No,
if you look at the situation, it's the LGBT community that keep attacking everybody else.
No, okay, hold on. Before you prove that point, why do you feel as though they're attacking in terms of that? Is it because the kind of the passion that they show towards their cause, or because as of late, especially over the last 3 to 4 years, they've become a lot more popular in the culture? It's become more of a movement, in terms of that. What about it makes you feel as though they're being, I guess, over aggressive?
Yeah, what's an attack?
I'll tell you that.
What's an attack?
I'll tell you that. Okay, for instance. Now, I'm not even a Kevin Hart fan,
but
Kevin Hart made a post on his Twitter page or something, and it has something to do with gay people in general.
We talked about it. Yes.
This was many years ago.
Yep.
But all of a sudden, now that he's popular, making money, now you want to bring that situation up, and he said he didn't have any issues with gay people to begin with.
Yeah.
So every time somebody says anything, they're too offensive about certain situations. Now, let's keep it 100. If you see a white person call us nigga, you know what I'm saying? They sit there and say, oh, well, you're being too uptight about the situation. It's just a word.
Yeah.
But what's the difference between them saying that to us and somebody saying something about a gay person that not necessarily is even intended to be negative?
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, man. But it's like if you're gonna, it's like you can only fight for one thing at a time. Either I'm fighting for all of our rights to be treated better, or I'm fighting for all of our right to be treated equally worse. Do you see what I'm saying? I could be like, I could say, fair. I could be like, yeah, you know what? You could be called a nigger. You can be called a faggot. It's okay if white people oppress black people. It's because it happens to us, so it's okay if it happens to you. It's okay. So nobody can do anything about this. Don't wear a seatbelt. Speed on the highway. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. What I'm saying, I think the alternative to that though is to say, how about we all act in a way as to make everybody feel comfortable on Earth, since that's the only place that we can exist. And to even if you just say if a white person says, I don't have anything against black people, I just am not an ally of them, and I don't really support them because I feel like their way of life is an attack on who I am and what I want to believe, then we would be like, that motherfucker is a racist. I mean, I don't know how else to define that type of thing. No? if a white person says that your existence is an attack on them, that's not racist?
Not to me.
Okay.
I look at it like this.
Okay.
I look at it like this. At the end of the day,
well, what's racism? What's racism then? What's racism?
Hold on. Let him answer the question.
All right. Okay.
I'm actually curious.
I look at it like this. I actually look at it like this. Okay, everybody has an opinion on everything. Now, I know that there's going to be people out there that don't like me. Oh, okay. Well, deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like certain things about certain people. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean as a person, I don't respect you as such. Now, if you don't like me, then hell, you might not like black folks, whatever the case is, but I don't look at it like that. You just do you. I'm going to continue to do me.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to be sensitive about certain situations when you already know what's existing in this world. Everybody wants to be quick to try to put everything in a specific box. We need to get out of that box situation, start realizing everything is not meant to be a direct target on you. It's just the way that some people were raised or grew up or what they believe in. Everybody has different beliefs. You might believe in Allah. Some people believe in God. Some people believe, you know what I'm saying, in what's that other doggone religions? You know what I'm saying? You got
Jehovah, Scientology. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got 50 million religions. But at the end of the day, I can't knock that person because of his religion, but you're going to find people that will.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying, but we're not talking about the difference in opinions. We're talking about things that hurt people. We're talking about beliefs that hurt people. It's fine to believe whatever you want to believe. The difference is like
something that might hurt you might not hurt him.
Yeah, but that doesn't
you might not hurt me.
But that doesn't matter. That's like that doesn't matter. If only thing you're concerned about are things that can hurt you, then there's no reason for anybody else to care about things that hurt you. So the reason that it matters for us to care about other people is that golden rule. I care about you not because the things that happen to you affect me. I care about you because you're a black man, because you're like me, not because you are me, but because you're like me. And I don't have to be a gay person or have or to want to have booty sex or have any type of thing like that to feel like I want that person to feel free to express themselves very clearly and to feel validated on the planet Earth. I'm saying the same thing you're saying. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I feel like that's a positive thing. Like, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be in boxes. We shouldn't all try to fit ourselves into you're a homosexual, you're a heterosexual, because there's a spectrum. There's a, you know what I'm saying? You might have a circumcised penis and I might have an uncircumcised penis, and personally I prefer uncircumcised penises. You know what I'm saying? I have a penis preference. Does that make me gay? No. It just means that we all have different preferences. So some people like different things, but because people have labeled that in a box and said, oh, you're a faggot, you're a homosexual, you're a this or that, that gives them the right and the excuse they feel like to beat those people up, to abuse them. And yes, black people have done that to them, white people have done that to them, heterosexual people have done that to homosexual people, in the same way that white people have done that to all black people. It's a categorical thing. It's not you. I'm not saying that you hate gay people. I'm saying that as long as we give them cover, as long as we give the people who would hurt other people the cover of saying, oh, I don't hate you, I just don't want to protect you or defend you or stand up for you or say anything in your defense. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that's cool, but please, I would never call you in a fight. I would just never call that nigga in a fight. Because who's that?
I agree with you to a certain degree.
And we'll wrap it up with your last comment here. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got it.
I feel like this world is too sensitive today. Everything seems to want to offend everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even if it's not meant to be offensive, some people are going to find a reason to make it offensive. Because today's people are more interested in trying to create a social media storm and get their 15 minutes of fame in some way, shape, fashion, or form.
It's the circus. You're right.
That's why
we agree on that. It's the circus.
That's why I feel like a lot of situations are happening with the LGBT community. They want to make a statement so doggone bad that they attack a lot of people for reasons that are really not even a reason to even get excitable about. Because real people that's got real minds don't give a fuck about what you're doing behind closed doors.
Shit, same thing on the shade room in World Star. we're guilty, all guilty of this. We're all guilty of that. But yes,
yeah, exactly.
we are all guilty of that.
I'm good. I think this was
This is a very healthy conversation. Thank you for indulging me, sir. Thank you for indulging me on this.
Extremely good conversation.
There's nobody that has your opinion out here in LA, so I can never have this, or I can't even. There's nobody to debate this with out here. We all rainbow supporters out here. Everybody, we love them.
I like that we can bring different things, so I wanted to give y'all the space to do that. All right, so we'll leave that right there in terms of that, and we'll go ahead and wrap up our last one here, which kind of goes back to hip hop a little bit there. We saw Jermaine Dupri, leader of the So Def movement, came out, I want to say last week or so, and basically made a statement that and again, I'm paraphrasing, but we're going to get right to the point here when we come from bad news, that basically all female rappers sound like strippers. And which he's taking more of a direct shot at Cardi. I'm not the biggest, and we've talked about this on the show before, I'm not the biggest Cardi fan from a lyrical standpoint, but I do applaud the fact that she's pulled herself up and done what she had to do. There was a level of work that she had to put in. So for that, I do respect it. But however, he basically kind of generalized and put every female rapper in the game into the same box, similar to Cardi. So that would apply to Rhapsody, which is a huge slap in the face. That would apply to Lizzo. That would apply to 3D Na'Tee, Megan Thee Stallion, all these other talented ladies. Basically threw them all in this one box labeled stripper.
Hey, Megan Thee Stallion is kind of.
I didn't say that he wasn't right.
Okay, all right, got about time. Just making. Okay, I was making so like, wait. I was with you on Rhapsody. I was with you all the way with Rhapsody. But I'm like, wait.
I'm with you.
Megan Thee Stallion ain't what I call a lyricist. I'm just being.
In some cases, he's not wrong.
Right.
But in other cases, again, like Rhapsody and many others, it's just absolutely not true. And now I did like Cardi B's response, and I'll let y'all jump in here in a second. I did like Cardi B's response in terms of, and it's rarely you hear me say I did like Cardi B's response. So let's go ahead and mark that down on the calendar right now. But I actually did like her response. It was very respectable. She actually named quite a few females that have bars out there in the marketplace right now to give an example of the balance and shouted them out. She has a very big platform so for her to do that, that's real major her. But anyway, what do we think of Jermaine Dupri? Do we think that he's correct? Do we think that he just kind of misspoke?
He's dumb.
What we feeling about the FemC right now? What's the state of the FemC right now? Y'all jump in.
He's just dumb, bro. He's just an old dude. Actually, you know what? This is probably just a good way to get press. I actually riffing off what you said, bro. I feel like this shit is just a ploy because it doesn't make any sense. I think in this day and age, anybody with half of any media sense, and Jermaine Dupri is not a dumb person. I think he knew what he was saying a little bit, or maybe he got tongue tied or twisted or whatever. The irony to me, the reason it makes me chuckle and laugh a little bit is because on one level, he's absolutely fucking right. Like on one level, there is a genre that I feel like very fairly can be called stripper rap. And I feel like that should just not be no shade. That should not be no shade, man. There's like a template of a certain type of, you know what she look like, you know what she working with, she's not afraid to show you, and she's rapping about it. So I'm like, why is this a thing? Like if a nigga rapping about drugs and selling drugs and you call it narco rap or drug rap, I'm like, accurate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So on that level, he's correct. I feel like that should be okay. To be like, yeah, there's a thing called stripper rap, and it's about the exploits of strippers taking niggas for their money. So what? It's a genre. It's a story you could tell, right?
It is what it is.
The problem is, the mistake that Senny made is that he generalized. That's it. Like you said, he generalized. He lumped a whole bunch of people in. And like Gerald was saying, if you do that, nowadays, that group takes out a vendetta. That's how it works now. It's just street rules. It's gangs. It's gang, nigga. It's gang rules now. So now, if you come at a gang, everybody in that gang got to get together and be like, you can't do that, and they got to come at you. So they came at the women, man, and the women, ganged up, and they spanked them, and that's how it works now. That's all. That's how it works.
Jump in there, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Now I heard that comment, and when he spoke the first time, he did misspeak, but he did come back and correct that because he made another radio post where he said he wasn't generalizing all women.
Okay, then.
He was just generalizing the ones that was actually doing the stripper rap. Now, I don't know what Cardi B's response was, but really and truly, let's keep it 100. She can't respond. You are doing stripper rap.
That's what you're doing.
A former stripper.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You're literally giving lap dances on the stage. You're giving lap dances on the stage. I mean, like, I'm not even hating. I like it.
The shot was directly at Cardi. She was definitely the one in the crosshair.
This is what we like about her.
She is a former stripper.
It's her whole.
To strip before she was doing.
I think she's still stripping. She's just getting paid a lot more money for it.
Bro,
go ahead.
Look, that's all I'm saying. A spade is a spade. Like, I'm not mad. All I'm saying is like all we got to get rid of is the shame. It's like I'm on Instagram. I'm looking at the pictures.
Thank God for the pictures.
You know what I mean? I'm on the thing. I'm looking. I like it. You showing. I'm looking. What is this? Why is this not a good thing? So I don't know why. I don't understand why. I feel like you can't have it both ways. You know. I feel like you can't do it and then be like, I'm mad at you calling me out for doing it. I don't know. I feel like that's right.
Now, I could see what my brother said earlier. If it had been like Rhapsody or, you know what I'm saying, MC Light, somebody with, you know what I'm saying, actual bars.
Right.
They got out there and went to, got pissed off about the situation. But they all knew he wasn't talking about them. They knew who he was talking about. The only ones who had anything to say was the ones who were actually in that category.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. That's a good point.
Rhapsody did chime in though. She thanked Cardi B for shouting her out or whatever. Because that was the main.
Well, she reads that promo. She appreciate promo. She appreciate that promos with Rhapsody. Appreciate.
Hell yeah.
But no, you dead on. Because it's like. The silence can also tell you a whole lot. You know what I mean? When a hit dog hollers.
Hurt dog don't holler.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's like nobody else said nothing. Everybody else was going about their business. Like, I don't know who he talking about. I don't have no idea. And then Cardi came out was
she
like,
speaks up. I just want to tell you, Bodak Yellow. But,
right.
I mean, but
it's funny she said Bodak Yellow too, because that is the song in which she talk about stripping some more.
It was a song to put her on the map. So again, it was clearly aimed at Cardi.
I love Cardi though. I ain't
pretty much been Cardi spinoffs. But I made a statement when we talked about Cardi's releases that I said that she, in many ways, lowered the bar, and that's exactly what's happening. Now you got little baby Cardis all running around here talking about some Bodak Yellow, and now it's just become this trend, and that's what he's really talking about right now. I do think that because he also turned around maybe within the next day or two or whatever, and put together basically a challenge where he said, okay, I'll put some money into a female MC. Go ahead and start sending me your situation. So, of course, he's flipped it into something else, and we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, that's
but let's talk about something bigger, though, with this as we kind of wrap this up.
Yeah.
What is the status of the current female MC right now? We do have, kind of what we call the stripper music. We got the girls that are kind of in between, and then we got the girls that are really spitting. And then you got a whole underground group of chicks that are just tearing shit down, in which people just ain't really checking for them, but they are just, if they're given some light, they could definitely do their thing. And let's also keep it real before we jump into the status of the female MC. Brothers ain't talking about anything either. Jermaine, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Yeah, no, real talk. No, that's fair. That's all real.
Exact same thing, money, stripping, whatever. So it's no diversification there either. Just in general, the game needs to be balanced out like the force. But anyway, what's the status of the female MC right now in terms of that? Where do we see it going? Where do we see it is?
I think we gotta look at rap holistically, man, because it's just the art of telling stories, and yeah, I think traditionally the idea has just been you got to tell yours. So I don't even look at it as a difference between female rap or female MCs or male MCs, whatever. I'm just like, whatever perspective you coming from, that's all you could rap about. It just would be weird to try to do anything else. So I think it's really kind of status quo, man. I feel like there's always been a couple of niggas that's been out front of everybody else. There's always been maybe a couple of chicks that stand out. And, then there's always been, like, the dudes that we know in the background that really know how to spit, like MF Doom and shit, and there's always been some chicks in the background that really know how to spit. So I feel like it's all man. It's all just, it's all balanced. It's always been balanced, always is balanced. And the only thing that brings, the conversation is more of a media spin, just a way of, like, of focusing in on a part of rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why whenever a dude brings it up and like compares MCs based on like their gender versus like why don't you compare a Megan Thee Stallion to Nas? Nas will eat a motherfucking Megan Thee Stallion up, right? But
indeed, quickly.
But we never compare them because we play a little misogynistic game where we're like we pretend like they shouldn't be compared to the greatest. I'm like, compare everyone to the greatest. Compare everybody to the greatest. Who is, whoever you think is the greatest, compare her to that. And then that's what I feel like is, it should be. I don't feel like it should be no, it ain't like it's physical. It's not like athletics or sports or some shit.
No,
where it's a difference of muscle.
No, this is all about your imagination sword. So whoever brings it to the table brings it to the table. Yeah. You go ahead and take us home with this one, bro. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts on this.
Yeah, man. Last word.
All right. Until we actually get to the point where we can actually control the mainstream media, then we will never be able to see another Queen Latifah, another MC Light, another Shantae Roxay. You know what I'm saying? People who actually gave you a storytelling situation, as my brother over there said. It's all about painting a vivid picture.
Yes.
Nowadays, is that the mainstream media continues to be controlled by the powers that's controlling it. Now you will only keep getting music watered down and watered down and watered down. As you said, my brother, there are females out there who got lyrical spit on the underground circuit. You've heard them, I've heard them, everybody's heard them.
Yep.
But again, people of today are controlled by what they hear on mainstream.
Truth.
And if we can't get those rappers to the mainstream, then the music generation in general, whether you're male or female, is going to keep getting more and more dense.
Yes.
It's going to keep getting more and more fucked up.
We say lowering the bar.
And that's all they keep doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Lowering it and lowering it and lowering it.
That's crazy when you say it like that.
I agree. All right. So hopefully, we will continue to be a part of the resurgence of people that are bringing new, fresh ideas to the culture. Hopefully, we will start to appreciate some of those male and females that are really bringing some substance to the table, especially in a world full of mumbles. Anyway, this has been a lot of fun.
It has been, man, and it's been really good. This has been really good having you on here, man, because I feel like you've been really honest with a perspective that I feel like is actually more real to where we come from, Newport News. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you brought a real you've been keeping it fucking real as shit. And I forget that shit out here in LA. You know what I'm saying? I've been here like 20 years. So sometimes it's like people say something, I'll be like, you're not even allowed to say that out here. But it's like, it's refreshing because you do have that. We got to keep having that conversation, or else we do, not know who each other are. And then we start hating each other because we don't know each other. And no, man. So I thank you for your honesty and your passion, man. I appreciate you. I really do.
Already. Thank you.
Right on, man.
I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. This has been great. It's been groundbreaking. It's been entertaining, bro. Won't you tell the people where they can find you, what you got popping, all that stuff like that?
You can find me on Damon Knight, DamonNite on Facebook. Everything else is social media. On the web is NITEKWRALAH, spelled Nightcrawler.
There it is. Nightcrawler.
Right. There we go. He's doing what he does.
I love
it. Tell the people where they can find you and all that stuff, sir.
As usual, I do my thing here and at Woke with Kids. Sometimes I update the website even, but mostly we're just on Instagram, and we come out every 1 or 2 weeks talking about politics and culture and that kind of thing. It's fun. It's great. It'll make you cry. It'll make you informed. You will leave a smarter person. It's a beautiful thing.
There you go. Shout out to Woke with Kids and, of course, Nightcrawler. In terms of ourselves, you can find us on all the different places where you can find podcasts, from your Spotify to SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, all that stuff. We see y'all popping up there. We see the different things. We love our regulars, but we'll definitely take some more people, invite other folk. Leave us a review. You can also check us out on all our platforms, Facebook, which we're currently on right now, IG, Twitter, all that stuff. In terms of myself, you can find me on Twitter, AlDiddy1712, ALDIDDY1712, and on Instagram, Algernon Zoctober, where you can see all my musical pursuits. Anyway, this has been a great show. I definitely look forward to having you back on again, bruh.
Please.
Talk some more.
Absolutely.
Life and everything in between. Yeah. This has been episode 74. We out. Happy Sunday. Happy Monday. All that.
Whoa. Hey. One.